Rundown live. Today is July 30th. We have Big Cat, my dad, who is going through all the Barstool productions today. So it is brought to you by Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Tonight is the big premiere for the Barstool crowd. We're going to go watch that movie at like 6 or 7. I'm sure it's going to be spectacular. So I can already tell you I'm going to give it an A+ review. It's a Peter Chernin movie. It comes out July 8th. If you want to buy your tickets because it's going to be that good that you don't want to get shut out, the link is right below this rundown. So go out and buy it. And I'm sitting, I am following Mr. Charisma, Bill Simmons, who straddles the side of couches instead of sitting on them. So if he's doing it, I'm going to do it. That's just a show of respect for somebody who's been in the game for so long. Let's get right into it. Foul ball guy, one of the funniest, saddest all-time Twitter moments last night. In case you missed it, in the span of about 5 minutes, foul ball guy took a foul ball, home run ball off the face, and then he got bodied out of the way on a winning home run. And Twitter just exploded with Barstool leading the charge. Zach, foul ball guy, putting out tweets that he's just had a terrible run of it. He got body slammed, and there's this image of him out there, which people put the Jordan face, his just hand on his face, in stunned silence that he basically missed it. Now he's gone national. Everyone's making fun of him. Big Cat, what do you got on foul ball guy?
It was, it's tough to see the greatest of the game fall down so hard. I think if one of those things happen, it's not a big deal. Having both of them happen snowballed on him. I saw the guys at like the MLB Network were saying that he's got to get a girlfriend. SportsCenter piled on. Deadspin, the big lead. I'm here. I'm leading the charge for foul ball guy. I'm Team Zach all the way through. I actually spoke to him.
Let us know.
I spoke to him today. He actually hit me up. And he said, hey, haven't looked at any tweets since last night, but heard from a friend that you got my back. Thanks. Last night really sucked ass, but I'll be back. So there you go. And you know what? He will be back.
Pro move when you like shit hits the fan, just go dark for a little bit.
Yep.
Not checking his Twitter feed.
Totally dark. And I will also just say this. Dave, you and I, probably our favorite video of all time on the internet. And all I can hope is this whole entire Zach Hampel thing comes out. He goes dark for a while. Maybe there's someone alleging that he's dead, and he makes his own Danny Boy Kane video. That's all we can hope.
He doesn't have that type of charisma, I don't think, for that. Dad,
he's
what do you
there.
got?
He's close.
I suppose just before we start, I want to tell anybody that's looking at this, I am not this small. I really am not.
Did you want to put everything off the record first, by the way?
No, this is on the record.
Okay.
I am not as small as I believe I appear. I'm not big, but I'm not that small.
You are, again, you have the unique ability. We're just trying, and you're going to be, why do I get picked on? What's happening? This was so out of left field.
Wait, can I say something first? That was the most Portnoy way to enter the rundown, to first refute that you seem short. Okay. You two are peas in a pod, so that was so perfect.
That's like you standing tiptoe.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's going to say that was out of left field, but that's a Portnoy.
All right, I have a very quick. I want to get back.
Quiet for a minute here. Can we stand back to back and you get that on the camera? Yeah. So your short claim, stand up. You brought this on totally yourself. Back to back.
I mean, get out.
I'm just measuring it for you.
He did
I measured. No. Let's do it flat foot, and then we'll do a Portnoy tippy toe off. So he's, I'd say 3-4 inches. Now go tippy toes. Let's see who's got the better Portnoy tippy toes. It's about the same. You need to work on your toe strength, sir. So he's been practicing.
I guess my point would be to start the rundown, and I'm going to get down here. By saying you're not short when you clearly are short was an interesting maneuver.
The point I was trying to make, I hope that I'm not so short that when someone saw me, the first thing they would think, oh, isn't he short? So that's the only point. Let's talk about the foul ball guy. My thing with that is, of course, I've heard of him. I didn't know the name. And all I can think of is somebody filling out a resume, and he puts on there, what do you like to do? I like to catch foul balls. I mean, I think that says it all. You build your life around catching foul balls. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Not Team Zach. I'm Team Zach. So I defend
Well, you got a
No,
problem
no,
too
he
then.
just
Yeah.
doesn't get it. He didn't
Yeah.
say it was not.
It's actually not
I-
that
I-
crazy.
Side
How-
note, can we revisit from lunch for 1 second
I'd rather we didn't.
when you signed up for Facebook and then you started claiming that Facebook had infiltrated your email, and you're like, this has to be because of Facebook. I have all these junk messages. Who's sending me all this spam? And you were in your junk folder.
You passed me your phone, and it was just the junk folder.
Am I going to get a chance to respond to these things?
Yeah.
We just gave you like
That had never happened to me before. Apparently, I must have pressed that to get in there. My phone, I feel now, is operating on its own without me having any interaction with the phone. It's like it's alive. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
okay.
We haven't even started. I do not like the way this is going, but keep going.
We're going to rebound here. We're going to
you-
rebound here.
You actually started it by going so off the rails. When like, what?
Well, I'm looking at the little monitor, and I look like a pygmy.
Do you want us to turn it around?
No.
Okay.
Johnny Football. So Johnny Football is in Cabo. I spoke with him 2 days ago. He was supposed to do the podcast. He bailed, so I got you, Dad, and Mom.
I knew that. Yeah.
He got suspended for 4 games. He's not even on a team, so that's just the NFL. They could, I guess, suspend me. They could suspend anybody. Be like, this guy's suspended for 4 games. I don't get that. He said he's going sober July 1st. He didn't tell me that. Until I hear that with my own ears, I don't believe that. But he is kind of on my shit list now because he's gone dark. And TMZ broke that story. He could have told me when we were FaceTiming. So I'm kind of off Team Johnny right now for the first time in a long time. In fact, you guys continue. I'm going to get my phone. I'm going to try to get him on this podcast.
Okay, all right. I have a question for you. You followed Dave in his Johnny Football escapades. What do you think about that?
There's a common theme that I'm going to keep talking about. I don't get it.
Right.
I don't get Johnny Football. I don't get David's fascination with him.
Right.
I also knew the minute he asked me to come to the rundown, to come here today and do the podcast.
He didn't get Johnny.
I'm substituting for this has-been.
For this drug addict, right.
For this drug addict has-been. And if there was an announcer, they would say, now substituting for this loser, we have somebody who's a bigger loser. Dave's dad.
Don't be hard on yourself.
No, I won't. But I don't understand.
Another question. If you have never met a person, would you say you're close friends with them? Or talk to them more than maybe once on the phone?
Certainly not this person. Even I understand that this guy. I mean,
You're FaceTiming, Dave.
I'm going to try FaceTime. He FaceTimes.
Can I say one other thing about him?
Yes.
Yeah.
That I really don't understand. Most of the people that in entertainment and sports that go off the rails like this, there's something in their background to suggest that was going to happen. Either abject poverty, things like that.
That's not him.
That's not him. I don't understand. He should be Calvin Hill. Not Calvin Hill.
Grant Hill.
Grant Hill.
Grant Hill.
I mean, he comes from the same advantaged situation. How did this happen? If I'm his parent,
I mean,
speaking of a parent right here, I wonder if the father blames himself. How did this happen?
Yeah.
You though think like there's plenty of rich kids who go off the rails.
Absolutely. But you got to admit, his background wouldn't suggest that this would happen.
No answer from.
No answer. I don't know his background. Dan, you got
Well,
anything?
you know a little bit about it.
I mean, I'm very interested to see what happens midnight tonight when Johnny is officially sober. So
We'll see. All right.
He's delusional, obviously,
Yeah.
at this point.
Let's do a commercial break. And we're back. So this story, another New York. Every day it's something just ridiculous out of New York. Today's story in New York is a guy had a bag of poop and like assaulted a woman just walking down the street and shoved the poop down her pants. He was wearing white
Front or
latex
back?
White, like she struggled to
Makes
get away.
sense, yep.
Then he was wearing white latex gloves so his hands didn't get poop on him, threw the gloves, and then ran away. It's on film. To me, if this was yesterday, this was you and KFC would be like, there's just mental toughness in New York.
I think I'm standing with that. Yeah.
You're standing with, just got to be on the lookout for random poop
I've found
attackers.
From the few times I've been in New York the last month or so, and I'm moving soon. If you can it's the old saying, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. That's true. If you can make it in New York with the threat of people shoving poop down your butt, then you can make it anywhere.
Dad?
You think that's what Frank Sinatra had in
I
mind
think
when
that's
he
exactly
sang
what
that
he had in
song?
mind. He
That
had
if
the
somebody was
poop in your butt, not
Okay.
your own poop, in your own.
Right. I'm
it's
sure
someone
that was
else's poop
that
in
was
your
the
butt.
mental picture he had
Yeah.
when he sang that song.
Yes.
I related it to you earlier. I combining that with the subway person on the subway the other day. I don't understand, going back to that subway business, how everybody just sat there and didn't get up.
Mental toughness.
I don't know. To me,
I don't get it.
What's that?
I don't get it.
You don't get what?
No, that's you. I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't get.
That's your theme.
Yeah, that's this
Remember?
whole thing.
You said it like 4 times. I don't
okay.
get it.
But
Because
this one,
I
I,
don't
have
get
your
it.
back on.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, except for I agree that it's mental toughness. but
My
yeah.
best word for that is I find the whole thing depressing. That this is what humans do. It's depressing.
It is depressing. It's New York City. Yeah, I will say, coming back to Boston, Boston's so much nicer, so much cleaner, so much more airy. Anyone who lives in New York and says they like it is probably a subhuman. And we're going to be there for like 5 years, but it's a cesspool. It's a terrible place to live.
Am I going to be invited there?
Yeah, you can come whenever
wait,
you want.
can I,
you wouldn't like
you
New York. You
No,
go
I
to
know I
Gable,
wouldn't.
New York.
I wouldn't. I was only going to go there once, just to see it.
it's a crazy odds that it would happen. But are you willing to take the risk of someone
No.
walking up to you and
No.
shoving poop up your butt?
No,
Then you can't come to New York.
I'll have to think about that. It may be a more significant risk than I thought until
Yes,
this story came
correct.
out. I never thought about it, to be honest with
There
you.
you go.
Michael Jordan.
Me?
Real quick, also, this was a late story from lunch. You turned to me at one point and said, "What is BarstoolSports.com?" That was strange.
Is that your FaceTime? Oh, no.
What is that ringtone?
I told you I was going to have your back in this.
What was that
It's not going
ringtone?
great because it's the ringtone, and I'm trying.
I didn't establish that ringtone. I don't
Of
know.
course you did.
I'm trying. I'm
Your
trying my
phone
hardest
did it.
here.
Your phone did it with your own
we
brain.
gotta-
the phone went rogue.
Can I do what Obama did and just throw the microphone down? And
I
I'm
feel
out?
like it all. Does this stuff happen to you on a daily basis, or only when you're around Dave?
I think it's only when
I
I'm
think
around
so,
him.
too.
That your phone takes
no,
The junk
no,
email,
no,
the phone.
That I feel that I have to watch everything I
but
say.
you
It's a
have to
booby
admit,
trap.
asking
Did
what
I
BarstoolSports.com is a
talk about
strange
getting off,
question.
Talk about getting off topic. This has nothing to do. You talked about a bunch of topics. I try to explain. I explained it to Hank. I've seen where there are a list of things, Barstool things, and then at the end it says Barstool.com. And I didn't understand why you would have something that said Barstool.com separate from all these other listings.
Super
Let's move on.
page.
Let's move on.
Michael Jordan wearing a helmet
Jet skiing.
Jet skiing. Big Cat, what do you got on this?
It's a tough look. You can't do that if you're MJ. You're the coolest of cool. Everyone's making fun of you for the crying. Now you're wearing what looks like a Huffy helmet on your jet ski. The only saving grace is that the LeBron James banana boat picture exists on the internet.
Dad, can you swim?
Is there a pool in this hotel?
Can you swim?
No.
Did he know the answer to that when he asked that question?
Yes.
What we're
That
talking
was
about
mean.
water.
That was mean.
He literally
See,
can't.
That was remember we said that Dave's mean?
Bottom of
That
the
was
pool.
mean.
You know,
Bottom of the
why
pool.
don't you just here? we, man.
Who's calling you?
Okay, all right.
Look,
Do you?
this is
okay.
going off the rails so
All right,
fast.
all right.
The fact about
I
the
didn't know
swimming-
about
You
the
would
swim.
wear a
You know,
helmet and
wait a
a
minute,
life
wait a minute,
I didn't
wait a
know
minute,
you knew
wait a
didn't know how
minute.
to swim. That's
We
not
talked
fair. I wouldn't have.
Didn't
Yeah.
we talk earlier
Yeah.
about the fact that David has a mean streak?
Yes, that was a
That
mean
was
thing.
a very
Correct.
mean thing to say.
The man
That
can't
was-
swim.
That was a mean thing to
Yes.
say.
Agreed.
A lot of people can't swim.
Yeah.
You remember Joe Frazier almost drowned in a pool?
Yep.
You remember that?
No, I don't.
Do you remember that?
I
Frazier
don't remember that.
How
Yeah.
old
Yeah,
is
it
Joe
was on-
Frazier?
eh,
Was I live?
This was on Superstars, and then one of the events was in the pool, and he had to be rescued out of the pool. You don't remember that?
Vaguely,
Do you, anybody remember that?
No.
Well, you better get a video of
Okay,
that because
so
it's famous.
hey,
What
Joe Frazier, world class boxer, can't swim. Neither can you. Not a big deal. I'm on your side on this
Thank
one.
you. What was the question?
Have you ever had had the desire to learn how to swim?
My mother My mother always was on my back. I don't know why I didn't. I can't tell you that.
I think we can do it. I think we can do it. Come on.
If you said to me right now, do I wish I knew how so I wouldn't have to listen
Deal
to
with
this?
this, right?
When's the last time I've asked you if you can swim? Ever?
You mentioned it when I fell into the water at the wedding.
Oh, that's true.
Which was not all that long ago. Boy, this is not going at all the way I thought it was going to go.
I
look like a midget. I look like a
That's
midget.
In my
You brought
defense,
that up.
I didn't know the swimming question was coming. I would have better prepared myself for a defense.
Thank you.
Do you have
That's my
anything?
fault.
Why did that even come
Because
up?
Michael Jordan was water skiing with a helmet, so I thought protective, and you wearing a life preserver because you can't swim.
Go to the next topic.
So there is a communal dorm where people put their food in the refrigerator, similar to an office. Somebody keeps stealing the pizza. So the people whose pizza was being stolen got a pizza, cut the cheese off the top or picked it up, put a dead lizard underneath it, resealed it, so the person eating the pizza, stealing the pizza, would then eat the dead lizard. Then they told them about it after. Dad, I'll start with you. What do you got on this?
Another thing that can you ever picture yourself doing something like that?
Which part of it?
But the whole 9 yards with the lizard.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
the lizard
You would
part.
do it too?
Yeah, you can't steal someone else's
If you're just
pizza.
stealing the food?
In a million years, I couldn't picture myself doing something like that.
You think that's a bigger transgression than stealing the pizza repeatedly?
Someone's stealing your pizza.
All I'm saying is that my response, I can't picture my response being that. I don't know what my response would be. I wouldn't be happy about somebody stealing the pizza, but I can't picture myself going through that kind of trouble.
It depends on how many times was a pizza stolen.
I feel like
This is important.
time out.
Was this in New York?
No, but it
Might
was
as
stolen
well have
multiple
been, yeah.
times. I also remember you doing some sort of revenge stunt on our street at one time.
Oh no, I don't. I'm also not prepared for this one. Just so you know.
What am I thinking of right now?
Where's your mother? Is she here?
No.
If what you refer,
Oh, that's
No, no, it's
mine.
your
That's
fault.
mine. That's
Yeah.
mine. I got it.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk.
But you did do some sort of revenge stunt.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk about it.
Will you talk about it on Pardon My Take? We'll do a free
Do
preview.
you feel like
Maybe.
Okay,
do you feel
perfect.
like it was unfair then to be like, I can't ever picture myself
I
doing
got-
revenge?
I got caught in the revenge act, and the person who was being revenged, if that's the right word, screamed at me.
Yeah.
So that's all I want to say about that. And asked me, "What are you out of your mind?"
Yeah. I vaguely remember it.
Don't go into that.
I won't, but it's just for somebody who's saying they're not into revenge.
What that was. We're not saying anything about what it was. Didn't compare with putting a lizard
Sounds like
in a pizza that somebody could have possibly eaten.
sounds like you're a guy who could do that though.
No, not at all. And I did it. What I did was at the behest of my wife, and why I listened to her and did it. If we're talking about the same thing, which I think we are, I did it because she thought it was a good idea, and as I was doing it, I knew it wasn't a good idea, and I did in fact get caught. So it apparently was not a good idea.
All right. I think that's
There's
all.
not one thing on that list that
We talked about them all.
All right.
The pizza thief, the helmet, the poop pants, Johnny Football, foul ball guy. You set this off the rails by the first thing you did is start complaining about your height when it was unprovoked. Once you go on that offshoot, as you say, my mean streak will come out.
It did.
Okay. So
I just want to say, Mr. Portnoy, it has been a pleasure spending the afternoon with
This has
you.
been quite a day.
I think you don't give yourself enough credit for being a genuinely funny guy.
Funny how?
Like a clown.
You think I'm a clown? So I picked up on
Yeah,
that
there
right
we
away.
go. See, I'm telling you,
I
you
have
don't
that-
give yourself enough credit.
I happen to have.
And
that,
I
happen to have watched that movie 500 times.
I have two goals.
That and The Godfather.
I have two goals. One,
Do you think LeBron James could have watched The Godfather 7 times during the
oh,
finals?
good question.
that's
No.
crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
And the one thing I was going to say, can I say one other thing about Michael Jordan and nothing to, you've gotten to the stage, I think in life, I see people comparing LeBron James to Michael Jordan.
Correct.
I think it's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
LeBron James, a tremendous player, physical specimen. The other guy was out of this world.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because this is actually, I think, a fairer comparison. Who you take right now, career-wise, Larry Bird, LeBron James?
I would take LeBron James.
The numbers are pretty. I mean, they're pretty
but
close right now.
The thing about LeBron James is his physical.
Right.
His physical.
Yeah. No, there's never been an athlete like him who's as big as him.
I always used to tell you that Sandy Koufax, when you loved Pedro.
Yeah. Right.
And we always used to have that argument.
Yeah.
I think now it's been juxtaposed with the present day LeBron and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You see the comparison I'm
You
making?
generally, I'm even surprised at the Bird, but you usually will just go with the old person every time.
Well, they do get better with age.
My 2 goals. 1, I want to teach you how to swim. 2, I want to get you on Twitter where I run your Twitter account. You just text me tweets you want me to send out.
As long as you can just end that my Facebook thing, that's all.
Yeah, I'm gonna take care of that as well.
My dad signed up for Facebook.
I'm gonna get
No
rid of that.
idea why.
I'm gonna get
No,
rid
I
of that.
told you why.
And now he thinks Facebook is attacking him.
No, I told you why I signed up for the Facebook, because I want to watch you. I'm your biggest fan. I wanted to watch you
Facebook Live.
Yep.
And I couldn't get it, although your mother, who's peeking over there, I wanted to see it. She saw it later on the regular Barstool thing and said, "You idiot! What'd you go through all that for? When can we just watch it?" So again, I was wrong. The theme today, from getting here early to this minute, has been me on the receiving end of a lot of criticism, justified or unjustified.
Some justified, some unjustified.
Yes.
Most justified. All right, that's the rundown. Have a good weekend. We'll see everybody at Bijou.